Hi, everyone. This is Ruth Theresa with the One Inspiring Woman, and I am excited to be with you for the second time today. Hopefully, a lot of y'all joined in or got a chance to go back and watch my meditation for the 1111 energy of today, and we're able to do the meditation. If not, you still have time to get it done today and tomorrow. We're still high in that energy today, but today is November 11th, one of my favorite days of all of the days of the year. Actually, today I celebrate in my business 10 years. 10 years ago today, I decided to open up my business, and it's something that I haven't always 100% loved, but excited about all of it. I have enjoyed so much of it and enjoyed so much of having so many people join me in my business and so many people that help and do all kinds of things. So, we are going to be talking about kind of the next stage for me, because one of the things that I think is really important about the 1111 energy is a lot of times people are really excited about that 1111 energy, but then a week or two down the road or a little bit longer, and they're kind of like, how do I know I'm still on track? How do I know I'm still um, uh, hi, Miss Carmen, on the right track? How do I know that I'm still hearing from my angels and guides? Or what are the signs I should be looking for? So that's kind of what we're looking at today. Thank you guys. Carmen, I know. Happy 11/11. I am so excited about today. And Sharon, I enjoyed the meditation this morning. It was much different for me to do a meditation with sunlight behind me. It was just totally weird, but I totally enjoyed it. And I may be doing another meditation during this day another time. That was kind of fun. But a lot of times, once we kind of go through this 11/11 energy, we're really kind of amping up into what's going next. And it's kind of like, what are we doing? How do we know that we're still on track? How do we know, what are we signs or should we be seeing from our angels and guides that we're on track, that we're should be seeing the signs? Like, how do I know if I turn this corner, I'm going to find the right person? How do I know if I do this, I'm going to step into the right energy of what do I need to do next? All of those kind of things. So that's really important to kind of understand what are the number one ways to get signs from our angels and guides, because that's what we really want to do, is kind of like, we want to make sure that they're on our side, that they're showing us, that they're kind of like jumping in behind us going, yes, this is the way you're supposed to be going, or this is what we need to be doing. So one of the most important ones, I think, is when we dream about our angels. Has anybody ever dreamt about their angels? Now, it's something that I do quite often. I will have dreams with my angels and guides that is kind of almost like, I think the last one was kind of funny. We were sitting at almost like a kid's plastic table with little plastic chairs, playing a tea party. And as we kind of sipped our tea, my angels and guides were kind of giving me that information of, you're on the right track. This is what needs to happen next. Not necessarily like telling me all the details, but this is the next thing that's coming in, and you need to be ready for this. You've got to be ready to do this part. You've got to be ready for what's coming up next. And so one of the things for me that's coming up next is my New Year, New You group reading. And so I've gotten the message from my angels and guides that, yes, you were on the right track with this. You picked the right date, you picked the right times, and you're ready to go with this. So dreaming about your angels is really amazing. They will come in and kind of give you signs during a dream that you'll be kind of looking for in real life. And sometimes it's kind of like, you may see kind of like a path in front of you that's all well lit, and everything looks great. And then you kind of see this one off to the left that you're kind of like, okay, it's kind of dark, a little scary. And then you see the one off to the far right, and you're kind of like, okay, where's this one going? Where are we going with this? The cool part is, a lot of times what we would do is we would pick the easy path. It's well lit, it looks nice, it looks safe and comfortable, and here we go. Yet, on the other hand, our angels and guides would direct us the other direction because there's something else we have to learn. So a lot of times we're like, no, I don't, no, I don't want to learn that. That's the cool part, is to learn about dreaming about them, or kind of like getting their signs in the dream, like this is the path that we need to go. We need to go down these two kind of like not so great looking ones, but what they're going to do is show us where we need to go. It's going to show us what's coming up next. It's going to show us what we need to learn so we can keep moving forward. That's the important part. So the next one is angel orbs. Now, not everybody sees angel orbs, and sometimes you can only see them if you've taken a picture. So sometimes people will show me pictures and they'll be like, oh my gosh, these are all ghosts with me. And I'm like, no, that's an angel, that's an angel, that's an angel. So angels come to us as orbs. And a lot of times the orbs are really kind of giving us insight into like where they want us to go. And the orbs don't look normal. To me, they almost look like an electric firefly with almost a rainbow halo around them, kind of thing. And the bigger the rainbow halo, it's one of those, usually it's a guardian angel or my guardian angel, somewhat a bigger angel. If they're smaller, I know that that's just kind of like a regular angel. So that energy is really special, but it kind of shows you the way that you need to be doing. Megan is saying, maybe a very dark lady in royal blue. Yeah, you never know. It's one of those, sometimes our angels and guides will show us so many different energies, and it's one of those, it's kind of like leading us on this path of where we should go and what we should do. So that's one of the things that's really important. Like I said, not everybody can see angel orbs, but the more you start like opening up to that energy, the easier it is. So has anybody ever seen an angel orb? Like I said, they're very small. They almost look like an electric firefly. So they're teeny tiny. They're not huge in any way, shape, or form, but they will come to different people. And if your clairvoyant is one of your major gifts, you're more likely to start to see them. Between now and the end of the year, our abilities start amping up even more. And so that kind of gets to the point where you may be able to see angel orbs if you don't now. My next one is, Gabriella saying no. It's one of those, they will show up from time to time. And like I said, if your abilities amp up, that's something that can really just kind of amp up all of a sudden. So the next one is white feathers. A lot of times people will ask for white feathers. Gabriella, you're getting ahead of me, Gabriella. Hold on, we're getting there. So right now we're talking about white feathers. So white feathers are all about kind of like our classic angel sign. So many, many years ago, I was looking for blue sparkles. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. The blue, kind of electric blue sparkles. That's what an angel orb looks like. And not everybody can see them, but it's not everybody has that gift yet, or it hasn't amped up for them. So white feathers. So when you ask for white feathers or blue feathers or whatever it is, yeah, Carmen, you're clairsensitive. That doesn't mean you can't have the clairvoyant gift to be able to see. It just means that you're more clairsensitive than anything else. So white feathers are all about kind of like getting a message from your angels. And so many, many years ago, probably 25 years ago, someone told me about this one when I was learning about my abilities. And I said, okay, I'm going to ask for feathers in my front yard. And I prayed for him the night before, and I'm like, I really want an angel feather, so I know that I'm on the right path, that I know I'm on the right path of what I need to do next. So I did that, and I woke up, and there was this teeny tiny, like literally 1 inch high little feather in my yard. I wasn't happy. I was like, okay, I asked for a feather. I know I asked for one. I didn't ask for a whole bunch, but I need like a major sign. Like I need like a freaking stop sign of signs. Like I need to see this like humongous in my face. Yes, I'm on the right path. And I was like, I want lots of feathers, or I want something else. Like I want some, like a definite sign. So the next morning I woke up and went out, and my whole front yard was covered in feathers. Not anybody else's yard, the wind was blowing. There was not one in my neighbor's yard across the street or the two neighbors beside me, not one feather anywhere else but my yard. So then I was like, okay, at least I got this. I mean, one of those like, amen, hallelujah. I at least got a sign that I can understand, that I can interpret and know that I'm on the right path. So when you ask for a feather, sometimes people ask for a certain size or a certain dimension or kind of like something else, kind of like, where are we going with this? The important part is to understand, make sure that you make it a big enough sign. So it's not like, oh, one feather fell out of a tree or whatever it is. Make sure that you're asking for those signs. Make sure that you are getting that information clearly enough. Because sometimes people are like, they'll see it and they're kind of like, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted, like I did. And then they're kind of like, well, maybe it wasn't them. Maybe it was just a duck. Maybe it was whatever it is. So make sure that when you're asking for a sign, that you're kind of understanding that that's what they've sent you. You asked for this and now you got it and now you're questioning them. It's kind of like, hey, do you want a soda from the refrigerator? I go to the refrigerator and bring you back a soda and you're going, I'd rather have a water. I brought you what you wanted. They gave you what you wanted, and now you're asking for something else. So make sure that when you're asking for the sign, that you're very clear with your angels and guides to get that information, to see that sign that you really require, and make sure that you're getting the information, kind of like asking your question clearly. Like, if I see this, this is what I'm going to know. I want to, this is the answer, or this is where I'm going. My next one that's really interesting is sometimes babies or pets will see angels and guides. And a lot of times you'll notice they're looking somewhere else. So you're, doing something in one area and the dog is looking in a complete different area, or your cat's looking in a different area. And you're like, no one's over there. Why are you looking there? It could be a ghost, but also it could be an angel and guide. And it really depends on how they react to it and how do you feel about it. This is a great area to kind of body test that, of going, where am I? I'm saying, like, do I feel afraid of this energy? Do I feel like it's my guardian angel? And then a lot of times I'll even ask, like, do you have a message for me? And so that's a really good sign. Like I said, pets, and babies will kind of look in different areas where there's no one at, there's no one there, and kind of like, okay, what are you looking at? Where are you going with that? So has anybody ever seen their animals do that, where they're kind of like looking off in a corner where there's no one else, and they're not getting mad or upset. It's just kind of looking in a different direction. And you're kind of like, wait a minute, where are they going with this? What are they looking at? And why are they looking in that area? I think pets do it more than babies. Babies, a lot of times it's easier to kind of like, oh, it's not really anything, or they're, looking at the ceiling fan, or they're looking at this and not realizing what they're actually seeing. Okay, Carmen saying, my kitties will sometimes look up where at the wall and the ceiling meet. I always feel like there was my mom or dad checking on me. Sometimes it can be, and sometimes like I said, your cats will tell you that because they're not afraid of it. But sometimes you'll get that intuition of like, I don't feel like it's mom and dad. Maybe it's something else. And that's a really good time to check to see if it's your angels, and if they have a message for you, because sometimes they'll come in as well. I would say a lot of times it can be family members that are checking in on us or kind of checking up on us. And usually a really good energy with that. A lot of times it also can be our angels and guides, and our cats and doggies and other animals are not going to be freaked out by them because they're used to seeing them. It's one of those, they're not going to be terrified or afraid or, oh my gosh, this is really scary. It is going to be more kind of feeling that energy. Like, I feel safe. I feel surrounded. I feel energetically okay. I don't feel like, oh my gosh, there's something around me. That's the really cool part about this. I think babies see them way more often than anybody else do. But a lot of times, like I said, a lot of times people kind of discount the babies because they're not reacting or they're not looking at the same area all the time. So I think kind of babies kind of get discounted in their ability to see angels. See, like I said, pets see them all the time, and they can look in different areas. Sometimes they can be up high, like where Carmen is saying, like where the wall meets the ceiling, but it can also be in different areas. And usually it's off by themselves. They're not going to be in a group of people. They're going to be off by themselves. So everybody else is going to be one area, and the animal is going to be looking at a completely different area, and almost very like alert of like, hey, how's it going? What's going on? They're going to feel very alert on that. Not alert like afraid, but alert like I'm looking at someone and I'm getting the information. So that's really cool. I love when pets alert on that, because sometimes we feel them, but we don't always, or we kind of think we feel them. But when the pet does it, it's like, oh, that's my confirmation right there. Angel numbers. Angel numbers are one of the easiest ways for them to get our attention with information. You can see them on anything, street signs, license plates, on addresses. You'll see them at different places. A lot of times people will see them on their cell phones. I see them. I take a lot of pictures with my camera, and those numbers sometimes will come up with angel numbers a lot. And I'm just like, okay, didn't know that was on that number, but they'll show up that way. So repeating numbers will alert you to the presence of a communication with your angels and guides. So it's really important to kind of take that information. And if there are certain numbers that you see a lot, let me know. I think it's really important to know what the numbers mean. It's really important to understand what they're trying to communicate with you. And I even sometimes body test, because sometimes people have like angel numbers that have like this huge long description. And it's kind of like, okay, what in this are you trying to tell me? What in this are you trying to show to me? What is it that you're trying to get across to me? And sometimes it's almost like reading your angel cards. Like you'll read the whole paragraph, but really it was only one sentence that was meant for you. There was only one thing that was meant for you. And that's the important part of what's going on. I think that's the really cool part about it. It's one of those, I think that's like I said, the cool part, but it's also really interesting to get those numbers and to be able to look them up and kind of really realize, like, am I seeing 222 or 333 or 444? Like, what are those numbers? Where am I getting this from? That's the cool part, to kind of get that information as well and understand that they're trying to communicate with us. And get that we're trying to get that clarification. Hey, Miss Jade, of what message we're getting from our angels and guides. Angel numbers are the easiest way for us to get that information from them. That's the really cool part. I think that is one of those special messages from people that we sometimes discount. It's one of those, we'll see the numbers, but won't like clarify that with, oh, this is a message from our angels and guides or anything else. It's kind of like, oh, wait a minute. I'm sending y'all the link to my 11:11 energy meditation today. It's on YouTube. It was a great meditation, and I had a few people join in during that time frame, and then I've had several people join in later on. If you enjoyed it, make sure that you do it several times today over the next like probably 5 or 6 days or 11 days. Because in 11 days, we hit our 11/22 day. And so that has some really good energy with it as well, and kind of opening up some new possibilities and new pathways. And so you can continue doing this meditation throughout the month and even going on. This is a great meditation to kind of just, where am I going at? What's going on with me? And where do I need to go with this? So angel numbers are one that I absolutely love. And like I said, paying close attention to like double numbers, where are they coming in at, that sort of thing. The next two are the one I connect with the most when I connect with my angels and guides. My number one is sudden temperature changes. So all of a sudden, I will get like a warm spot in certain areas. It's not hot, not like a hot flash or anything like that. It's just all of a sudden I feel warm. That warmth is telling me that my angels and guides are really, really close to me, or someone else's angels and guides are really, really close, meaning that I'm making a really great connection to the other side. If you are feeling it really, really cold, usually that is a ghost. And it's not like the movies, people. It's not like all of a sudden your breath is just coming out and you can see the little fog. No, it'll feel cool, but there won't be a reason why. It won't be like you're right underneath the AC vent or anything like that. You're going to feel that energy. You're going to feel the coolness. The warmth is your angels, and the coolness is the ghost. So that's kind of the way to kind of keep up with that. But I feel the temperature changes more than anything else. And then the other one I get a lot is physical sensations. I get goosebumps all up and down my arms and legs, like my whole body just got plugged in. And usually this means when I'm working with a client, all of a sudden they'll be kind of like, I don't want to say arguing with me, kind of like, oh, this is not the way it is. And like they'll step in closer and like like literally my arm is covered, my body all the way down my legs. I'm like, okay, they're arguing with you to tell you that they're really here. And so that's kind of the fun part. It's one of those, but I get goose pimples a lot, especially when I'm connecting with angels and guides. And that is a really fun one as well. It is a great one to join in and kind of just know that and usually that means they're like right next to me. They are totally right next to me. They are not far, far away. They are right next to me. And I often tell people, angels are kind of an interesting energy because they're kind of like animals. They don't have like this personal bubble area. They'll be like right up against you, like right there, and kind of be like, I'm right here. And I'm like, okay, back up just a minute. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you're right here and I love you, but give me just a second to do this. So I love having that energy around me a lot. I love doing that. I love feeling their energy. I love having that close by. So that is something that I absolutely love, is having their energy with me and have that, you know what I'm saying? Like when I get the goose pimples, it's like, oh my gosh, I know they're right here. They're right connected to me. One of the other ways that you can get an angel message is from music. Music is something that angels use to communicate a lot with. And a couple of years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago, I had a client whose wife passed away, and he was a cowboy, and he always listened to country music, didn't listen to anything else. And it was really interesting because every time for like a week, every time he got into his truck, there was a different song on, and it was on a station that he didn't leave his radio on. So he's like, there's no reason why this should be coming out. There is no reason why I should be hearing this coming out of my truck. Because he goes, like, every station is a country station. There is no reason why there should be a rock and roll station. And I was like, that's interesting. And as we kept talking, he started saying, like, it sounds like the same song. And I was like, okay, so what's the song? So I got up and kind of Googled it and kind of like, what are the words of this song? And he goes, oh my gosh, that sentence is exactly the way my wife would say it, like exactly the way she would say that. And I was like, that's your affirmation that it's your wife. That's your affirmation, because no one else would know that information. No one else would know that about her. No one else would know that. That's kind of like between the two of you, the way y'all talk to each other. And that was a really cool part, is that it's one of those, it's the way she would talk to him. So that was like her way of communicating with him and getting him a personal message. Although she was giving him messages through me, it was also really cool for him to receive his own message and to know that it was her. Okay, the next way that you can get messages from your angels and guides are by finding coins. So one of the things that's really, really cool is to start asking your angels and guides to give you coins, almost like Hansel and Gretel, like dropping the breadcrumbs, kind of like showing me the way. Wherever I'm seeing those pennies or coins, I'm going to start looking. I know that that's the right place. This is the right place where I'm supposed to be. So pennies are usually pennies, nickels, and dimes. a few times quarters, but usually most profoundly, I would say that it's pennies more than anything else. And that's always considered really interesting. Sometimes I will find one or two coins together and I will consider that an angel number and then go look up that angel number. So one can lead to another. A couple of weeks ago, I found a dime and a penny together and I picked them up and I was like, wait, this is 11 cents. And so I was like, oh, this is really interesting that it's talking about opening up, just like today's energy, opening up to that 1111 energy, opening up to that, what are the possibilities? What are the threshold I want to walk into? And that's the really fun, cool part of picking up pennies. And whenever I pick up a penny, I will tell you, I will giggle and laugh and jump up and down because to me, that is a sign that I'm on the right path. It is a sign that they're with me. And I love finding the money. I just think even if a penny and most people are going to overlook it and not even consider it at all, it's one of those, that's the really cool part. That's the part that's going to be like, wow, this is really, really special to pick that up. My next one is all about unexpected interactions with animals. This is what Gabriella was asking about earlier. Sometimes they show up as animals like dragonflies or butterflies. Yes, this one is all about animals such as hummingbird, butterflies, dragonflies. Sometimes, I'm saying, like you will have this unexpected energy with them and unexpected, like they'll just all of a sudden land like on your hand or unexpectedly land somewhere really, really close to you where they would normally avoid being around people. To me, it's kind of like a conveyance of like very powerful meaning in our lives that we are on the right track. It's one of those, it's kind of their way of showing us that we're going the right direction and that we are truly connected to our angels. We have that angelic connection with our angels. And I asked y'all the question, so what is the most common way that you get signs from your angels? How do you get signs from your angels? What are your most common ways that you receive messages from your angels and guides? Is it through animals? Is it through unexpected interactions with animals like butterflies, dragonflies, hummingbirds, that sort of thing? Is it getting the angel numbers? Is it seeing it with your animals, your cat or your dog, kind of your animals around you? Is it a physical sensation? Do you get the goose pimples or the, some people, I think Sharon should still be on, but Sharon actually starts to cry. You can actually see her physically cry when she connects to her guardian angel. So you can see that, like almost physical, like she'll just like, be overwhelmed by it. Carmen is saying numbers 222 in the right place at the right time for the right reason on a license plate 5 years ago led me to choose the job I'm in now. Awesome. That is, I think angel numbers are kind of like the fun one, kind of that unexpected one, because all of a sudden they just show up out of nowhere. All of them kind of show up out of nowhere, but that's the one that I'm like, oh my gosh, they're so exciting. Megan says songs, numbers, and dreams. Dreams are a really interesting one. I think they're kind of fun. Songs are always interesting because sometimes like the words keep repeating almost like, and they'll keep repeating in my head afterwards. And I'll be like, okay, that must have been an angel song that I was listening to. They wanted me to hear these words. And then, of course, angel numbers are always cool when you see them over and over again. I used to, in a notebook, carry a little bitty notebook with me, and I would write down the number and then write down the date and the time and where I was at when I saw the number, because I was trying to kind of like connect them with where I was at or what I was doing or where I was going. So I think that's the really cool part, and kind of the fun, interesting part of all of this is having that special one. Now, seeing angel orbs is my absolute favorite because I can physically see them in that energy. So orbs are kind of like my favorite, so kind of thing. I really enjoy that part. If you, so Sharon's saying pennies, feathers, and numbers. Yes. Pennies are always that fun energy of like, yes, I found it. That's the really, really cool part. I know. So let me give y'all the lowdown while Okay, so my next Thursday Night Live will be 11/25, or this November 25th, and no, right. My next one will be on November 18th, and I will be doing dream interpretations. Neptune is going out of retrograde, and so my next one will be dream interpretations on November 18th. If you want me to do a dream interpretation for you, you must email me your dream in advance, because I will tell you 9 times out of 10, people do not give me enough information that I have to have. So we have to email back and forth, and then I have to plug all that information in. It's not that I need to know the information ahead of time, but a lot of times people will not put their feelings in there. And that's what I have to have, is that feeling with it. So we will do on the 18th, we will do dream interpretations. Everything must be emailed to me. Your first email must come in by Wednesday at 10 p.m. So I have time on Thursday to go through all that before I go into Thursday Night Live energy mode. And then November 25th, I will be doing Sagittarius energy, kind of like what's going to get us from all the way through Sagittarius's energy. What are the things that we need to be aware of? What are going to be amped up? And we are going to have some pretty interesting energy close to the holiday time, and we'll be talking about all of that in Sagittarius's energy at that time frame. So we are going to be doing dream interpretations on November 18th, and then on November 25th we'll be doing Sagittarius's energy. So if you have questions about those, make sure that you join in. We are going to have lots of fun. You can submit more than one dream if you choose to. If I have too many, then any duplicates will kind of go to the back of the pile. So if I have several from one person, I'm going to spread them out through all of that. But make sure that you start with the beginning of your dream, putting all of your energy in there. What did you see? How did you feel about it? That sort of thing. And then we'll be doing dream interpretations on the 18th. So that is going to be some great, amazing energy. And we're kind of catching that last of that Neptune energy before Neptune goes direct, or starts direct, or in post shadow energy. So I thank y'all so much for joining me tonight. And I know that we'll be talking again soon. Y'all have a great week.